What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A Wolf in Geeks Clothing, hosted by yours truly, Wolfson. And today is a special episode. It's one of those few episodes that I tend to do with small segments, but also with great news and announcements. So here's what we're gonna do on today's episode. I got a special announcement to make for everybody. I'm very excited to talk about this. I've been keeping little hints here and there in the podcast from time to time. But finally, we're managed to do this. So luckily, my cousin Geektanium, Radioactive, shout out to him. We're finally doing the documentary. That's right, guys. Let the record beat horn. Let's go. Finally, we're doing this, guys. And I'm very excited. It's one of his, passion projects that he's trying to do for the longest time. It's called Behind the Geeks. That's right, guys. Behind the Geeks. So I can't get too much information out of it, but we will get to it when the episode comes out. He's doing like a little behind the scenes for every person that's involved with such stuff like, the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Pokemons, the video games, the comics, even the Marvels and TV shows and whatnot. Like, he's doing a little bit of behind the scenes, like what makes someone like any of this stuff that we do, any of the stuff that we listen to, that we watch to, that we love to do. So I'm very excited to be part of that project, and we're filming the first episode with me, and I'm so excited about it. Today, we're actually going to be doing a couple of shots. We're going to go to the local tournaments, local shop that we go, a Mac card. Shout out to Travis and everybody from there. We're going to go there and do a couple of shots in there, play the tournament, and even introduce the new sneak peek. So the new sneak peek for the next core set that we have right now, it's going to be Supreme Darkness. That's right. I want to talk a little bit about that, about Supreme Darkness. I'm not too much excited about it. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of it from time to time from me and Mike Phoenix Hero. Shout out to him. It's one of those core sets that I feel like it's a mid. It's a mid set. It's not a powerhouse, hungry level set. Like, it's like, oh my God, we need to invest money. Like, no. It's one of those sets that you're better off if you talk about it if you buy the singles. That's what it is. Buy the singles. You end up winning more if you buy the singles than you are with buying the actual boxes or buying cases. There's nothing inside that holds value like in the previous sets, like for Rage of the Abyss or Infinite Forbidden. Like those two sets have like the more charming cards. Those two sets have like much more supports. The Fiendsmith came out of the Infinite Forbidden, and Rage of the Abyss, like it was another power hungry house core set. Like it went bananas on it. So in Supreme Darkness, I'm not too excited. I wasn't planning to do the sneak peek either, but I'm making an exception to it because, I'm supporting our local stores. That's very important to support our local stores. That's what keeps them going and has them with giving you guys the first sneak peek of the first cards, and you make good deals with them, and that's where you do all the tournaments. So obviously, just support them. And second of all, because we're shooting the documentary today, at least bits about it, and we're gonna do the sneak peek and tournament with the new cards in it. So it's like it was kind of like important to let's just do it for the content. I mean, why not? And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I'm not expecting much, and if I'm buying something, I'm buying like one box and that one box alone, and that's it. I'm not going above and beyond. But we'll see for the content purposes. A little bit behind. I don't want to, but but any other cards that I'd be expecting, like I want the new secret about Waku, that Link 4 that's gonna be nuts for now the Malice deck, and other decks that will need that Link 4. Like there's a crazy combo with it. And oh yeah, the new ultra rare Primate Dragon E for Burial. That's another card that people are like sought out to look for. So there's a couple cards right there, but like I said, singles. It's better off if we're going to singles instead of buying the boxes. We're just doing this for content purposes, of course, But yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna go shoot down later today. It's gonna be lots of fun. We're gonna have a few chuckles here and there. Why not? yeah, I'm excited about it. So I just want to give you guys that announcement with, giving you guys the sneak peek for Supreme Darkness, or Suda for short, and giving you guys the announcement that we're doing the first pilot episode with the documentary of Behind the Geeks. Yeah, guys, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be a very cool documentary that we're doing. I haven't seen much people doing it outside of it. This is something that's actually brand new and a cool direction of it. So I'm just happy to be part of the documentary itself and part of the journey that he's going through, man. So it's gonna be fun, guys. So yeah, so keep an eye for it. We'll give you guys more announcement of its official release and whatnot later down the road. And last thing I want to talk about was the recent game trailers that just popped out last week. I was just like, whoa, like there's a couple of games that just came out of nowhere and coming from the Xbox Direct, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But there was one game particular in which I say, like, holy shit, this game is fire. And it's the recent gameplay that was released, Phantom Blade Zero. Holy crap. It feels like it's a combination of Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima because it has that little ghost elements or spiritual demon elements on top of, Ghost of Tsushima's style of fighting, but it has like a lot more to it. Based on the gameplay that I saw, I was just like, what is going on? The whole time I thought I was watching any of those old kung fu movies, like the ones that we grew up watching, like the Bruce Lees and the Jackie Chans, the Jet Lees. Like I thought that's what I was watching. I didn't realize that you're actually doing this as of like playing the game. I'm speechless. When I saw the trailer, I was just like, what is going on here? And the way it was being portrayed, the gameplay and the character doesn't tell you much of it, but based on what you see, I feel like this is one of those contenders for the Game Awards. Like, I don't see why not. That remains to be seen because we only saw a small portion of the gameplay. We don't know how the story is gonna play out, and we don't know if the gameplay is gonna be like that or it's gonna change, and also the graphics. But based on the gameplay trailer that we saw, I was like, I feel like this game is gonna be phenomenal. I thought it was phenomenal the first time they did that teaser trailer last year about it. But they didn't show much. It was just more cinematic stuff. But now that they showed an actual gameplay, I feel like, oh yeah, this game's gonna be nuts. And I feel like it's a good thing that we're bringing back that hack and slash style genres. Something that one of my cousins, Chris the cameraman, shout out to him. He brought that attention to me. I was like, oh yeah, it's been a while since we had a great hack and slash games, probably since Stellar Blade, or before that Devil May Cry 5. Like this one, it looks one of those, but it looks a little bit more better and more like there's a lot more mechanics that you have to do with it than just press XO. So I like it. I really do. And something that I noticed about this year, I feel like everything ties up with with the Chinese zodiac calendar, which is funny. So the Chinese zodiac calendar of this year in 2025 is the year of the snake. It's funny because I'm noticing that like a lot of games this year are all like ninja and samurai based. And what does that relate to the snake? Well, as a shinobi, your whole mission is basically like not to be heard and then strike. That's what snakes do. They tend to blend in, camouflage, be silent, and then strike. And I noticed that, like, wow, what a coincidence. And coincidence that at the end of the Phantom Blade Zero gameplay trailer, at the end they say like, oh, pre-orders and you get this exclusive snake weapon, because of the year of the snake and whatnot, which is like, oh, okay. What a fun way to tie things up. So yeah, and what I mean, like, there's a lot of games that are releasing this year that's all based ninja and samurai. But it's like, besides Phantom Blade Zero, we got the new Ninja Gaiden game that's coming and some of the remaster remakes version of it. And also we got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is finally, after how many we've been asking about Assassin's Creed to be on feudal Japan. Like, as long as I've been playing Assassin's Creed, everybody was dawning to have a Assassin's Creed based on Japan because we know it's like, oh, ninja related. Well, finally, after like what, 20 years now, they decided to like release the game. Well, we'll see how it goes because I'm still not too convinced about it. I'm excited, but I'm like, because based off the other games that I'm seeing, oh my god, we have a ghost here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Assassin's Creed. I got it. My bad. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Got it. Jeez, whatever I tell you guys is ninjas, man. The other games that we got are Ninja Gaiden and Phantom Blade and Assassin's Creed for ninjas and samurais. We also got the PlayStation exclusive and sequel Ghost of Yotai. I think it's Yotai or Yotai. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's the sequel of Ghost of Tsushima. It takes place like 200 years down in the future, but still in that feudal Japan era. So like, I know there's a lot more games that are releasing this year, but there's a lot more that releasing like ninja and samurai related stuff, which is actually pretty dope. It's gonna be like, all right, this is gonna be a nice year of video games and then of course of hack and slash games. So it's like there's a lot of games that we're popping this year. But I just want to say, yeah, I'm just excited. Based on what I saw, that Phantom Blade trailer, I was like, whoa. Like, all right. I'm sold about it. I need to see more on Ninja Gaiden, but based on the small things that I saw, like, okay, I might actually have to get Ninja Gaiden again. I got into it before. I played the Sigma version in the PlayStation 3 era. Didn't play the others. But I did play the Sigma 1 and 2 sequels. Like, to me, it was like, oh, okay, this is fire. And then you got the Assassin's Creed. I mean, I played Assassin's Creed my whole life. I think I stopped after Odyssey. And even when after I got Valhalla, I was like, eh. And when they announced the Shadows, I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then lastly, like Ghost of Yotai. So obviously that's gonna be a mandatory that I'm playing that game, you know. So once I get those games, man, I'll give you guys like a quick review of this. And I'm really excited about these games, honestly. It's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a fun year of video games, and I'm looking forward to it. So what's going on, everyone? This is your boy Wilson from A Wolf in Geeks Clothing. So when I recorded this episode, I was expecting to do a lot more than just a few minutes, like a 13-minute video. I was expecting to do a lot more. But I decided to like, all right, let me just talk about that, because at that time I was filming the documentary with my cousin Miguel from Radioactive and Geektanium. Shout out to him from that documentary. I'm very excited. So we only did it for a short, so that way he can have some of those stills inside his documentary. Now, I'm just going to fill up the rest of this episode with some of the stuff that really came down this week and it's just recently fresh, you know? Even though some of the stuff that we already talked to was also brand new to talk about, there's some things I want to cover, and, you know, this will fill up the rest of these episodes. So thank you for always tuning in, guys. Talking about all these game trailers that just happened, you know, the year of the year Japan, or samurais, or ninjas, however you want to call it. I do want to discuss some of these other trailers that like pop off this week alone. So one of the trailers I wanted to talk about was the new Devil May Cry anime series that was announced, and it's coming on April. It's already confirmed by Netflix. It's April 3rd. It's gonna be dropping the new series. From the people who created the Castlevania series are the same ones handling this project. So I'm very eager and excited about it. But they didn't just like drop a trailer with new content. No, they dropped the opening credits for the show. Yeah, the opening credits. And in none other than the song that they picked was Limp Bizkit's Rolling, Rolling, Rolling. Yeah, you all know that song. Keep rolling, rolling. Took me back. Wow, that was a great flashback. Yeah, guys, they dropped that massive banger over to the opening credits. That's gonna be the official credit for that opening for the series. Now, I have some reserved concerns about it, it's just very minor because I can't complain about it. I saw the whole opening credits and some imagery that we're gonna discuss about it. In terms of the song, like I love it. I just didn't think it was meant for DMC, you know? I think it was like too mild a little bit because DMC, we always know about it for being very heavy metal and have that the hard punk rock style of music. Now, not to say that Limp Bizkit is not hardcore, you know, punk style. They're definitely more of an alternative, if anything. And the song is like a banger. I love listening to that song. I just didn't feel like it was meant for DMC in a way. And you know, some of the images as they were trying to build it up, it kind of felt like it was forced upon it. Not trying to be hating on it. It's just that's how I felt. Like if we're gonna be honest about it, I'm gonna be honest about it. Rock keeps getting in the way with his wins. I don't know why. Like I would have chose any other heavy metal that's heavy metal song. I would choose probably any heavy metal that goes along with that theme of DMC. I mean, I also would have preferred for them to choose some of the already heavy metal songs that were already part of the video game franchise. Any of them. But they choose Limp Bizkit, so, you know, we can't complain much about it. And I'm not trying to complain about it. I'm just saying, like, I feel like could be better options, even though it's dope, it's fire. Yeah, it's the whole meme. We're the same, but different. Same here, but different. That was probably like my only concern out of it. I mean, it's going to grow over. It's going to grow over. Like, I don't care, honestly. But I do want to discuss some of the images. Like, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it here on the pod because, you know, you don't want to get copyrighted and whatnot after, you know, these mofos from Warner Bros. And whatnot. I'm not gonna fiddle with, you know, with Netflix, you know. So, but I'm gonna, you know, be looking over on my phone with all the pictures that were saved about it. So I'm looking over, and there's a lot happening. There's definitely a lot happening, and it seems like they're definitely gonna be picking up a lot of source material from all the games. Based on the trailer, I feel like, yeah, we're still in that early stages of Dante being a punk, you know, being a young teenager, you know, and he's trying to figure himself out and whatnot. I mean, you can even tell in the trailers that he's not even using ebony and ivory. It's just regular guns, and he's like, you know, changing the ammos and whatnot. Something that we don't see about in the games, you know, something that we always like, you know, talk about, that he has infinite ammo. But you can tell on some of these images that, yeah, this is like referencing for not just from the video game source, not just the manga, the DMC free manga, that's how we know that they're gonna be referencing a lot because of it looks like the main villain is the rabbit, and that rabbit, it was the main villain from the DMC manga. They're also depicting some source material from the Devil May Cry novels. Yes, because again, I feel like this is before Dante was Dante. This is when he was Tony Redgrave. Anybody who doesn't know that, read the novels. You're gonna love it. This is when he was known as Tony Redgrave, because obviously the reason why, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, the reason why he's known as Tony Redgrave is because he's being hunted by the demon around. If they find out the Sons of Sparta, they're gonna kill him. So for him to hide his name, because everybody knows his name, he decides to go by the name of Tony Redgrave. Boom. I know, right? What a great way to hide yourself, all right? So yeah, I can tell because like I said, I'm not gonna spoil much about the novel. You guys should read it. But in the novel, that's when he got his first guns, like his actual like stable guns, even in ivory, for the rest of the season, for the rest of the game franchise, actually. And you can see that he hasn't hasn't picked up Ebony and Ivory yet. So that means like we're still in those early stages. So we're still in those early stages, and I think they're picking it up from that, and it's gonna go straight to the DMC Free, the manga. And I mean, that's based off what I'm watching up opening credits. Maybe in the anime, it's going to be completely different. But I feel like this series of Netflix, if they do it right, we can potentially see at least good 6 to 7 seasons or even more. And the reason why is because, like, oh yeah, like if we're including the manga and some of the novels, that alone is a whole season. That alone. So if we pick out some of the games as well, that's every game that we had. It's their own season, you know. And I'm pretty sure that it'll be behoove for them if they actually do some stuff for like it will be behoove from them to get some backstory lore for how Nero was born and Virgil and whatnot. Like it'll behoove for them, but we had to wait and see. Again, some of the pictures I'm looking at, one of the first images that started on the opening credits is all the swords that were like, you know, like on the ground. And it glitches because on the first initially it's all red and you see the rebellion, and then it glitches to the blue, and then you see Virgil's sword, the Yamato, in place of the rebellion. So it flips over, but every other sword remains the same. And you can see on all these swords, as I look into, they have Agni and Rudra's sword from DMC Free. You got the Merciless and Vendetta from DMC 2. You got the Red Queen Nero's sword, DMC 4. You got the Force Edge before it got to the Sparta sword, which is like reference to all the DMC games. You also got the Alistair sword. That's like one of Dante's first swords to ever pick up from the first DMC game. So that's an iconic sword, the Alistair sword. You can also see in the back, like if you keep scrolling more, you can also see in the back some of the katanas from Lucy's weapons of choice from the DMC2 game. And there's some more that is like shadow into it, that you can tell that these are more other weapons from other games. So this tells me that they are using all the games as a reference. And we might actually see all of this in the anime. We might. We don't know, but it's like giving us like a wink. We might use this, we might not, but here's a Easter eggs in it. So it's pretty cool. There was a point where you saw Mundus. That's right. Mundus, the king of the underworld. He was there. He was shown in the scene as well. So there's again, if they're taking reference from the games and they're going by the games, we might see all of them. We might see all these bad guys. I just hope that they don't put like an episode and be like everyone's squinting on that episode, you know, so that way we only have like 3 seasons of it. No, I kind of want like their own. I want their own, like every arc should be their own thing, that their own season. That's what I'm hoping, but we have to wait and see until how close it is. Based on the trailers, I'm seeing like they're starting to choose like more of the earlier days of Dante, you know. And again, another shot of Lady. So there's a chance Lady might appear. I believe she did appear in the DMC mangas. I don't remember, but I believe she did after she discovered, you know, her dad killed her or sacrificed her mom, you know, Lady. So definitely she will appear. And then you see the Nero's insignia, the Order of the Sword, which is like the reference of DMC4. How that, you know, cult like worship Sparta, you know, the savior. And, you know, they put the emblema that they have on every single jacket or sword or whatnot, and they call it the Order of the Sword. And yeah, it made a reference in that opening credits. So we might actually see a prequel of how Nero was born, or Nero is already born, and, you know, or Virgil just passed by and try to, I don't know. It gives us like Easter eggs of like, oh, they're hinting us that there's gonna be some stuff. We also saw my God, Ross, stop moving around. Jeez. The Winged Dragon Ross statue that I got is brand new. It's sick. Will not stop moving around. That's how you know how much alive he is. um we definitely saw an image of the fake Sparta from Devil May Cry 3 when Arkham decided to transform into a fake version of Sparta. We saw an image of that. We saw an image of Nilo Angelo, Virgil's form when Mundus took over his body and soul, Neil Angelo. So there's a reference of it. So we might see something. And obviously, we saw Mundus in there. We saw the rabbit and his Groonies, like I guess his henchmen or something. Like I totally forgot. I know the rabbit was like that demonic rabbit was something Alice in Wonderland theme related. I don't remember much in the manga how it ended. Obviously, like Virgil and Dante like faced him and killed him, but don't remember much. But it had some of the Groonies, his goon squad. One of the goon squads, as you see in the image, is none other than Cavalier Angelo. And for those of you who don't know who Cavalier Angelo is, he's one of the big bosses from Devil May Cry 5. So he made a reference. So the creators like literally took all the games, all the novels, and all the mangas. They're all canon. They are canon, except for the reboot. Right? Reboot never existed. And he basically put like everything on the wall. It's like, here, we're going to put a little bit of this, a little bit of this, because we're going to do all of this into one series. So badass. There's a scene in the opening credits that Dante with the Awakened Rebellion facing a horde of demons. So, and then you see some other stuff in between here. Nothing much, but you do see like a main bad guy, like a human with a bunch of his squad, his army, like ready to attack him. So it looks like before Dante took the whole demon hunting job serious, he was probably fighting against these bad guys as now. So I guess we'll wait and see. But I wanted to give you guys that little update about, Dante and about the DMC opening credits, which is like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the DMC series itself. I'm a DMC fan. I mentioned some of that in the documentary. Like Devil May Cry franchise is like one of the most beloved ones that I enjoy playing it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to that. Shout out to those Geek people. Speaking about those people in particular, I do want to talk about Castlevania 2, the season 2. My God, it was amazing. Season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne, it was like a roller coaster, honestly. I like that there was that cute little balance of highs and lows, that there was some high moments in which you were like, holy Moses. And then there was like, all right, they're adding more story to it. They're adding more lore. There's dialogue into it. They need to like build it up. And also it gives us a more of a glimpse of how some of the bad guys, they turn into vampires and how they become the fake messiah for vampires and how they plan to have the eternal eclipse to make, even when the sun is out, all the vampires can go out. And also it involved a lot with Lucy. Wait, was it her name? It was Lucy? One of the characters' moms and her daughter training to become a better sorcerers and be able to conjure familiars, bigger ass familiars. And also how the Belmonts, he had to be like trained by Alucard, which it was a complete shock when it came out. Like I feel like everybody was having their own character redemption or a huge character development, and everybody was catered to it some way, which was a nice balance. It didn't feel flat all the time. It felt like, I get it. And some of them were like, it's a good thing to know, so that way we know the character and base of what and how it alludes to where we are right now. I gotta say, it was pretty good to what it was. And I loved the last 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes were so high action packed that it was like, dude, anybody could die. Like, oh my God, you're just clinching. Like, what is gonna happen? And and it was just so badass. I have to say, it was badass the way it ended and whatnot. So yeah, I give Castlevania's Nocturne Season 2 a good 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to them. They deserve it. It was pretty good. Can't complain about it. And it's the same people who made the original Castlevania, and it's the same people who made the DMC series right now airing on Netflix on April 3rd. So I have a lot of high expectations, and at the same time, I feel like at least they're gonna do a great job. I mean, they've been in the works for years and years. Like I've been hearing about then say, "Oh, we're doing DMC universe, our own bootleg universe," and I was like, "All right, bet. I'm looking forward to it." But where is it? Until they finally announced it, I was like, there it is. And this is, if anything, this is a whole nother confirmation that we might have a DMC sits coming in the ways. I mean, that one time I talked to Jan Bosch on one of those cons that I went, he confirmed that DMC sits is in the works. But it's been in the works for years. So that means all right, do your thing. But there's been some rumors on the Capcom front that there's a possibility, because Capcom is on this whole nostalgia era, killing in the video game scene, in the video game industry. There's a rumor now circulating that there's a chance that they're gonna do a remake of the first Devil May Cry game, the one that was released on the PlayStation 2. That's right. There's a rumor that there's gonna be a remake of that game using the RE engine, of course. If it's true, oh my God, Capcom deserves to be awarded Game Company of the Year every year at that point because they're killing it. And if they're gonna do such a great job like they did with RE2 remake and RE4, we're gonna skip RE3 because it was a bit rushed, and they learned from that mistake. They really did learn from that mistake. If they're gonna do that remake, and if they're gonna continue to do remakes of the whole Resident Evil franchise, now they're saying that one might be the remake, or 0, or even Code Veronica. We don't know. We know that RE9 is confirmed and is coming because they accidentally leaked them themselves, and because they're bringing all these old nostalgic games like Okami, the sequel, and Onimusha, the sequel. So they're bringing a lot of nostalgic games, and I can feel they're gonna bring back all the games that they ever created, remake it into the standard engine that they have right now, and boom, they're gonna sell it. It's they're not. It ain't broke, why fix it? They're not gonna reinvent the wheel. They're just gonna all right, we got something. Let's just make it into a big game. If it works, why not? So I gotta give a shout out to Capcom for that. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, I just want to talk about that. Any other rumors I want to say? I've been hearing for the grapevine Pokemon rumors. It's still a little bit too early. We still haven't had a confirmation of when is the next Pokemon Presents. Yeah, I don't know when it's coming. Supposedly it's this month. Supposedly, quote unquote. The Pokemon company hasn't announced anything yet, and ever since that terror leak that happened last year, Pokemon has been very silent. All they're doing is just releasing their products on schedule or whatever they gotta do. They're not even addressing anything, or they're not even addressing anything about Pokemon Legends ZA, which were wow, hurry up and do something. But nevertheless, we're gonna talk about a little bit of these rumors, and these rumors that I'm hearing, the great one. Gen 10 is coming for next year. Gen 10. And they say that the names is Winds and Waves. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. But I did say it multiple times in the documentary and in my episodes that Gen 10 made sense to be released when 2026. Why? Because it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon itself. The franchise itself is the 30th anniversary. They'd be dumb enough not to miss this opportunity and not to release the new Gen 10 on the Nintendo Switch 2, of course, They'll be dumb enough not to take that advantage and take that opportunity and release it. I've been hearing some of the rumors. There's some other rumors that I believe they're fake, and I don't believe that it's coming. The name itself, Winds and Waves, kind of makes sense, but I just don't believe it as much. They say that it's gonna be like one of those unique open world games that each version is gonna be different in the sense of one version, Waves. They're all the two versions are gonna be based on the Greek islands. That's what they're saying about Greece itself and the Greek islands. They say that one version you'll be traveling through water. So kind of like how you guys were traveling with Koraidon and Miraidon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's all open world and you decide where to go. And you're traveling with Koraidon and Miraidon the whole time. So they're going to do that same concept in the new Gen 10. I don't see why not, since they implemented it and it works. People like it. They're going to do it. And they say that in the one version, Wave is going to be traveling through water from island to island. That's what they're saying. And then in the Wind, you're going to be traveling through the air on land. So you're going to be flying out most of the time. So that's because the islands are on the top for some reason. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. This is what I'm being seeing and reading on Reddit and reading on all the Pokemon YouTubers. Just take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take anything that I say serious. It could be completely fake and we got misguided, or it could be true. We don't know. It sounds interesting. I will say it sounds interesting because that involves now more the version exclusivity, you know? Like you can only go certain places and get certain badges or whatnot through this version. And in this other version, you get certain badges and whatnot, you know? Like it's not just, it's a whole different experience on both versions. Different experience. Almost the same concept of, you know, of you have to get all 8 badges and whatnot, but you're going to be feeling it differently. So that's actually a pretty cool concept because now I'd say like, all right, I'm not just buying the same version and playing the same game over twice just so I could get some exclusive or just have the different Pokemon. No, now it's more to it. So if they're going to go by that route, I'm all forward to it, looking forward to it. But again, that's all rumors. That's all, take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if it's true or not, all right? Other news that I've been hearing, obviously Legends EA, they say that they're going to release it on August because of that Amazon, you know, accident that happened. We don't know. They haven't announced any gameplay at all. But Nintendo did confirm that they are releasing Legends EA this year in 2025. There's not going to be no delays from any Nintendo game that has already been announced to be released on 2025. There's not going to be any delay. And Nintendo backed it up, saying they're not going to be delayed. These games are going to be released. 2 of the games I say they're definitely going to be released this year was Legends EA and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. 2 games that I'm actually looking forward to it. So that's actually good. So that means we're not expecting anything like, near next year or something. Like, no, it's going to happen this year. Is it going to happen in August or it's going to be happening in November, like their usual release? I don't know. Remains to see. Hopefully in the Pokemon Presents that's coming, that's supposed to be coming, they'll say something about it. And lastly, the one last rumor that I've heard from Pokemon was that we're still in that whole remake vibe that, you know, they're going to announce a remake soon for sure. It's going to be the Unova remake. So it's going to be Gen 5, Black and White. Again, remake. I don't know, honestly. It's looking clean. And if we were going to get it, like they should have announced it by now. Or maybe they will announce it on Pokemon Presents. We don't know yet. But that's what the grapevines are saying. You know, like, oh yeah, Unova remake. And here's the funny thing why I'm mentioning this, because they say like, oh, Pokemon Legends EA, it's going to get released, let's say August, yeah? Based on what they say. And then we're going to have no more Pokemon games throughout the rest of the year. And then on next year, on 2026, on January, we're going to have the Unova remakes. So we're going to have Black and White remake on January. And then later on Pokemon Presents, they're going to announce the new Gen 10. It's going to be released on November that year. So that's what they're saying, because they almost took that same formula with Legends Arceus before and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And that's how Gen 9 was, announced. So they're saying that that's going to happen, but that still remains to be seen. We don't know yet. We still have to wait and see. So yeah, that's what's happening with the Pokemon rumor mill, So that's all I gotta say about it. Just keep you guys, let you know what's happening with the Pokemon world. Moving on, we want to talk about the Fantastic Four trailers. Oh my god. It's true what they say. When I saw the trailer itself, it looked fantastic. Like, it looked very futuristic past, if you guys know what I mean. Like, it looks like it's like every event that they have, it's so like very past like it's all 50s era, but as if like the 50s never died. And they just kept it going, and then that's where your modern day era is. Like, because everything looks like, oh yeah, we're modern era turns, but everything else is like all 50s vibe style. And so that's why I call it a futuristic past. I saw the trailer, I saw all the characters, and they have their own little dialogues and whatnot, and lot of reference from the old movies and also reference to the comics. So far, it looks good. It looks good, and I like that it looks different. It's much different for anything that we've ever encountered from Marvel itself. So this looks amazingly different, and I'm all about it. I'm definitely all about it. Keeping my expectations pretty low because I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I'm okay because it looks good. It looks good. It looks different. And if I'm gonna give a rating to the trailer, instead of a 10, so I gotta go from rating to a 5. So I'll give it like a good 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 is fine. Like, it's really, really good and it's different. So it's something completely different, not your typical trailers that we usually see. And I like how they reference the main bad guy, Galactus, is gonna be appearing. So a lot of it feels like they're like Loki is gonna get tied into that movie, and Doctor Strange as well with the whole multiverse. Like, it's gonna be insane. Like, the whole thing is gonna be somehow connected to the MCU, obviously, because you can tell, like, based on the trailer, it's not in the same timeline or same universe as the main universe. It's a different universe, but they're gonna tie it out some way or somehow. It looks great. All the characters looks great. I can see it. It'll grow on me. I don't know if Mike Phoenix Hero will be happy about it. He doesn't like Pedro Pascal, but he's gonna see the movie regardless. But 4 out of 10 is not bad. 4 out of 5 is not bad. Also, I want to mention the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer with Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and others are gonna. It looks like obviously it takes place after the events of Jurassic World. The last Jurassic World Dominion, but based on the trailer itself, like, if it show a lot, man. I hate when they do that with certain movies, because it makes me believe that they don't have enough faith for this movie. It showed a lot, but it showed like, okay, looks like that they're going back to the original islands, Isla Sonar, Isla Norna. So they're going back to the original islands, but I think they're gonna go back to a section of the islands in which nobody goes, or it's prohibited, or it's like a secret area that nobody should be aware of it. Nobody should know. I guess they're gonna go to the area where all the dinosaurs were created. I guess that's where it is. That's where, based on the trailer, it's showing me like they're gonna go to the area where all the dinosaurs created, and I guess they're gonna show all the failed dinosaurs, like all the failed dinosaurs that are like, we didn't make it, but they're alive, and yeah, we can do something. Because they do show hints of different T-Rexes and raptors and other dinosaurs, and they show a hint of a dinosaur that looks like, based on what people are saying, it's a mutated dinosaur. So I guess that's what you call it, the failed experiment, the failed dinosaur of them resurrecting. So they're probably bringing that, and look like he's like one bad motherfucker that is like gonna tear shit down. So it's like, oh no. Yeah. So it's gonna be like, whoa. Am I excited for it? Am I gonna watch it? Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it because I watch all the Jurassic franchise movies itself. So it's like I'll watch it. Scarlett Joe. I feel like in this trailer, based on what I saw, Scarlett Joe was like a little bit too much. I guess I don't know. And not that I'm against her, but it felt like everything was so forced. Like I feel like you're not, you know, like it doesn't feel like it's part of it. But obviously the dinosaurs all around, like you can see some badass dinosaurs. It looks dope and whatnot. On this trailer, I will give it. Oof, it's not as good as I thought it was. 3 out of 5. That's how much I will give it. In fact, 3 is too. It's too candid. I'll give it a 2.8 out of 5. It's not as good because it gave too much. I am excited for the new dinosaurs and this whole concept of the new side of the island where it's like it was forbidden and this is where they created the dinosaurs and this is where they left the failed experiment dinosaurs and you see the results of them, the mutated dino. But other than that, I feel it's just gonna be the same thing over. It's like a group of people shouldn't be messing with dinosaurs, and then we somehow like, oh yeah, we're in a pickle. Now we need to get out of the island. Oh, geez. Could have told you that from the very beginning. But 2.8 out of 5. I think 3 was too much for me to say that. But nevertheless, interesting. Really cool. Moving on to the last topics that I want to mention. I heard a rumor that I saw that Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 is in an intense production, and that season 3 it's going to be called Death and Rebirth. And they're hoping to air on July 2025. That's what the grapevines are saying. That's what I saw. Breaking TV anime Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 Death and Rebirth air on July 2025. Currently in intense production. I don't know. Again, take this part as well as with a grain of salt. We don't know if this is true or not because I believe they did announce that there's gonna be a movie that they're gonna release that's gonna be solely based on Gojo. Yeah, they did. Yeah, because now we're gonna go to the last topic, which is anime lists that they announced that they're gonna be releasing. May 30th, 2025, they're gonna release a Jujutsu Kaisen movie, another one, and it's gonna be tied down to Gojo's past. So I guess like the events before one of the flashbacks from season 2 when he and Seto were like friends and whatnot. Is it Seto? Or is it Gero? Oh, I forgot. When they were friends, before that, or when he was just trying to discover his new power and what it does. That's the premise of the movie. So it's kind of early for me to say like, wow, like you're gonna release a movie on May and then the anime on July. So maybe they're actually gonna like continue on. It's like, oh, you watch the movie, now watch the anime coming in. I don't know. It seems kind of too much. We'll see. Other movies that they announced that it's coming. Boruto Part 2. So I guess the Blue Vortex. The Blue Vortex. Yeah, Billy. Boruto, the Blue Vortex, the anime, the manga that we'll be reading is finally coming back to an anime between 2025 2026. We don't know the exact dates. This is what they say that's be announced. The new Naruto series, the 4 episodes that they were planning to do that we never received, they scrapped it back so they can tweak it and make it a lot more better. They said that's coming back again in 2025 and 2026. We don't know. We don't know if this is true. We also got the confirmation for that they're gonna do the anime version of the one-shot manga from the Minato manga from Naruto. So say Sakamoto Days Part 2. Right now we're watching Sakamoto, and my God, it's pretty good and hilarious. Like I love the show. So I guess the manga is gonna be that good. I mean, the manga is that good. But they say that Part 2 of Sakamoto Days, they announced it's gonna be released on July 2025, which is good. I believe Dan Part 2, the season is gonna be releasing sometime soon. I have to check. Fire Force, the final season, is gonna be releasing the part 2 is going to be releasing Jan 26th. That means that the first season is going to be released on April 2025. So it's coming right now. That's good. This is going to be how the world of Soul Eater was born. So spoiler alert, guys. The final season of My Hero Academia, finally, it's going to end in October 2025. So that we're going to expect to see the final season coming into an end in October. One Piece the continuation of Egghead arc, it's going to continue on April 6th. I guess once the new remake version of the Fishman Island arc is done, that's when they're going to release the continuation of Egghead arc. Finally, Dr. Stone season 4 is going to be released in January. Oh, isn't it already released? The new season? I guess so. What else? Oh, I do see the confirmation of Jujutsu Kaisen season 3 getting released between 2025 to 2026. So maybe not in July how I saw it. Probably gonna be like they did it last time in October. They'll release it and probably will continue on to January. The new Chainsaw Man movie is releasing this year in 2025. I thought they announced the actual date. Hell's Paradise season 2 on Netflix is going to be released on July 2025. Damn, that's way too far. Well, I mean, the series is fucked up, but it's good. There it is. Dan 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 season 2, July 2025. There you go. Again, too far away from me, but I'm okay. If they're gonna do these anime adaptations and the mangas is still going, I'm okay if they do these breaks. Say like, all right, give her a little break so that way they have time to finish the manga. And lastly, Kaiju number 8, season 2, July 2025. Man, this summer is gonna be packing. I'm all about it. Wow. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. All the news that I got. I mean, yeah, we ended it. We're ending it on a great note, guys. We made it into a full-fledged episode podcast. Sweet. Yeah, guys. Just remember, we're already at the finishing touches with the documentary. It's going to be awesome. I had a great experience. It's going to look amazing. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like it. Anything else that I want to say? Thank you guys for continuing to listening to my podcast. I'm not sure if this is going to be my last episode for a while. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Nani? I'm not ending the show itself. It's just that my son is about to be born really soon. And I have to pay a lot more attention to my beautiful wife. So any given time, this is it for me for a while until I, things start to, balance well. And then I come back again and kick it with new episodes and, new look and whatnot. But so far, this is what's happening. We'll see how it goes after my son is born. We're just pausing the show for a little bit until we get things settled in, Other than that, guys, that's it, guys. I really, really am grateful and appreciated that you guys tuned in to my weekly episodes. And I can't wait to see you guys until later in the future what holds with the channel itself. So thank you guys for always tuning in. And don't you forget to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes here at youtube.com/WolfGeekPod. That's right, guys. At Wolf with a V Geek Pod. When you can check all my latest episodes. And now the audio version, you can all check it on SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Yeah, that's right. iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts, all of them under a Wolf in Geeks clothing. Some episodes from the Lone Wolf podcast and from Wolfpack podcast are going to be part of it. But I finally changed everything into a Wolf in Geeks clothing podcast. So I'm so excited. You can easily check that out on any of the audio versions for free. Comment down below as always. Share your experiences. If you got a specific topic that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to do my best to talk about it on the next episode when it comes out, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.